I haven't seen his take on the school shooter, but I'm sure it's going to be a doozy.
Oof.
This whole thing is so crazy, man. It's so terrifying that someone would want to do that to kids. It's so terrifying.
It's really upsetting.
It's really upsetting, and it's just
every time.
I feel like there's going to come a time where we decide that the only way to stop this is armed guards, which is no one wants to go to that place. No one wants to have armed guards in front of every school. We never had that before. Why do we have that now? And I get it. I get that no one would want that. I mean, it's horrific.
Yeah.
But I also get that, like, I don't see any other way to protect this idea that you're going to take all the guns away. They're not going to go for that. It's not in the Constitution. It's not in the Bill of Rights. You're not going to. The Second Amendment, people aren't going to just give their guns up. As fucked up as that sounds, because it's not the law-abiding people with guns that are the problem. It's people with mental health problems. That's the problem. And they get a hold of guns. So how do you stop the people with mental health problems from getting a hold of guns and doing this? That's the real question. And I don't know the fucking answer. And I don't think anybody does. That's why no one's done anything. And the best that anybody does is put armed guards in front of schools. And, and then people get upset on social media and they talk about taking guns away. And then it becomes a big discussion of whether or not that's the answer to this, and and whether or not that promotes tyranny, whether or not disarming the people is like good for us overall. Is there anything that's a net positive about the country being armed? Is there anything that's a net positive about the Second Amendment? And when those conversations happen, that's when things get very interesting, and you find out why we agree on certain things, while we disagree on other things, and what we think is the cause of these horrific tragedies. And one of the major causes is clearly that to order to do something like that, something has to be horribly wrong. And we have to figure out, like, is there a way to spot that? Is there a way to stop that other than armed guards? Is there a way to reach that person? Should we be more sensitive about people or is it impossible to detect? Is it some people just hide it until they want to do it? I don't know. I don't know the answer. It's fucked though, dude. It's fucked. It's really scary shit. It's really scary shit how often it's happening.
I would have to say that school shootings are the most disturbing genre of news. Like, I get the saddest, like, I will cry. Like the Odessa one, I was like, this one was really rough. Yesterday's is really rough. The thing for me, though, is I feel that a large part of the issue is that we're always arguing about the exact cause. And my thing is, This is a multi-cause issue. This is a complete reflection of our society. And we're wasting time arguing, is it the guns? Is it mental health? I really feel it's a lot of things combined. The guns aren't shooting people themselves, but the guns are very available to people that probably should not have them. And then it gets caught up in, like, are we taking away the guns? I'm like, that's actually not the issue. How can we stop this from happening? Let's all get together and be like, we don't want to see kids shot in school. This is the worst thing that can possibly happen in your society.
Yeah.
And just shut it down. And like, let's say we put the armed guards at the school. Well, they still can shoot people at a supermarket. They could still shoot them at gymnastics class. These people, I think, are just there's something wrong. They're very unhappy. They're very angry. They want to do something to bring us to our knees. I can't say what mental health issue is afflicting each one of these shooters. Something is wrong, but I do also feel that until we get a hold of this and until we can heal as a society and people don't hate each other so much, not allowing the guns to be this available to people isn't the worst idea.
The problem is they're already there. They're already available. There's too many of them. Like, if you try to stop the flow, like, first of all, they're constantly making new ones, right? So think of that. And then second of all, there's 400 million guns in America right now. So, like, stop all production, stop all sales. You still have 400 million guns.
Okay,
There's
I like to
literally
take
no way to stop it.
Yo, so this is I do this mental. This is the mental gymnastics that happen when I'm trying to figure something out that I cannot figure out, like this issue of school shooters. I
Yeah.
try to get into an analogous or metaphorical place. So if we look at gun violence like inflation,
Okay.
and then we're the Fed. The guns are there. I agree with you. They're already out here. Prices are high, like inflation. Inflation is in our society. So people want to stop inflation.
Right.
Take back the guns. Stop lending free money out. But is inflation
The
going
fear
down?
that people have is the government has already shown that even with an armed populace, they will do what they can to be in control of people and to make people follow rules that they create that may not be in your best interest. And over time, it will be revealed that it's not in your best interest and you have no recourse. And people are scared that if they didn't have guns, if they're treating us like that and people have guns, how would the government treat us if they were the ones that had all the power? And I think that's a real good fear if you look at human history. But I don't think that there's a utopian answer to this. It's all bad when this happens, and there's no one's making a clear case to how to avoid tyranny and stop this from happening. What the best I've heard is armed guards.
So when a lot of people will be like these conservative nutbags that want their guns, I'm like, all right, if you're already looking at them like that, then you can't see the issue because nothing is this clear cut.
It's fun to call them conservative nutbags want their guns.
Yeah, it's fun, but if we care about these kids, it's important to be like, all right, let's give credence to what they're saying, which is, all right, I'm afraid of a government that runs unchecked. It's a legitimate common sense thing.
Yes.
I could see how a human being would want to worry about that. Then what I would say to the person is, have you seen Waco on Showtime? Do you think that you and your homies with some ammunition can actually defend and sustain a campaign against America within America? No. So how would we, let's put our brains together. If the fear is an unchecked government and we don't want to live in a place like that, how do we handle that? Well, get rich, have a business like Amazon, have a business like Apple, have fucking lobbyists. It's business. Business is how you hold governments accountable. It's not the guns. That's what I would try to explain to people.
So you would tell someone if they want to change the world, become Apple. Make a new Apple. And then just take over.
Leverage.
But
It's
that's so hard to
leverage.
do.
It's hard.
You're literally saying make an Apple. Make Apple. Make the most successful company in the history of the world.
But it would be even more ridiculous to give someone an AR-15 and say, defend like this country.
Yeah.